injuries from yesterday besides Evan?
Nope. Jack will be back practicing. Shep will be back practicing. Hottie will be back practicing. Leonard will be back practicing. So Aziz we'll give him another day, kind of two like we did with Leo.
Aziz get another day.
Evan is still in the protocol.
He is. Yep.
Giving you guys 2 days off is unusual. Obviously, you guys have data behind it.
Yeah.
What's the general thinking of 2 days in a row?
Well, I think it just depends on what it is you're resting for the player. So I meet with those medical guys daily, come up with a plan for each individual player, and in this case it'll actually be another day too for them. So it'll be the day off tomorrow, and then get ready to go back on Monday.
Ryder will out again.
Ryder will be out probably a few weeks here. The exact amount of time I'm not sure, but that won't be just day to day. So I'll just get that one out of the way. That'll be a few weeks.
What is the injury?
He hurt his arm, tricep.
Waller's good. With the finger, look at you left with jammed his finger and then jammed it back in.
Yeah, no, he's good.
All good.
He's good. Yep.
Brian, I'm sort of reluctant to ask this because it's a little in the future, but I'm going to ask it anyway. You spend a lot of time with the players spend a lot of time during training camp. You're going out to Detroit. Can you just talk about what the differences are as far as bonding activities when you're on the road like that for a couple of days versus,
Sure.
being in training camp like this?
Well, I think it's good to practice against another team. Again, for some of the reasons why I mentioned earlier, a couple days ago, I think it was, you're competing against different players, so you're seeing different matchups. You're seeing where your team is relative to the other team. You're going against different schemes. You're in a hotel together for, call it 5 days, or I think it's 5 days. So, a lot of planning that goes into it that other people are doing right now. Particularly, I'd say Laura Young, she's been outstanding with all that stuff. So we'll try to have a good one today, and then I think we leave, Monday? Yeah, Monday, I think. Yeah, Monday. Monday after practice.
But do you do different bonding activities? How does that kind of work?
No, you're just around each other, most of the time in the hotel, and, you're practicing. You're good hands, Kim. Yeah. So, you're around each other pretty much every day. So it's like going away for camp almost.
You do one of those bowling nights or something like that?
No. We'll be out there practicing and meeting. It's still training camp for us and going through tape and doing all those type of things. But again, instead of going home to your house, you're at the hotel. Maybe you're at dinner together with your teammates. But still to go out there and get good work really is what we're trying to do.
Dave's in getting that good work.
Yeah.
Would you be at all apt to rest Shep or to pull him out, or do you want him to
you know
see
what?
him in that?
Yeah, I'm sure. I haven't talked to those guys about that yet, relative to where all the guys kind of are. We'll have a plan for that, whatever that is. That morning or whatever. I'll share with you guys.
Do you miss that camp experience, going away?
No, I like the way we do it here. I've gone away to camp, I'd say a few times early in my career. I think 2000, went to camp. Buffalo, we went to St. John Fisher, an hour and a half, somewhere around an hour and a half away from Buffalo. I'd say predominantly I've stayed at the place we had our facility at. So it's good either way. It's still camp. Again, and that's evolved from 2000 with the 2 days and things like that. So I like how we do it here. We have a great facility. So it's been good. Fans have been great. And I think this is the last day for the fans. They've been awesome every day. Packed house, give the guys a lot of juice. Very thankful for our fans.
Everything starts up front. I know it's still kind of early, but what is your assessment in the line? You're mixing them up.
Yeah, I'd say early still. We're still competing, bunch of guys out there. We're giving them opportunities, and it'll be, these preseason games will be important for a lot of guys, to really go full speed, so still an evaluation process.
How is Evan Neal doing? Did you get to talk to him?
Yeah, he's good.
He's
I mean, he's as good as can be. He's just in the protocol. I think he said he feels better than he felt yesterday. So again, we'll take it slow with those things and let the doctors and training staff kind of go through all that. But feels better than he did the day before.
Dave, do you know what happened or what play where he
yeah, there was a
felt
little bit of a
pain?
collision. That's that happens.
Right.
It's just
There
two
wasn't
guys that.
anything
No,
specific.
not out of the ordinary. It was just a little collision on a run play, I think it was, and took him out. And always going to be cautious with those guys.
What did you see from Matt Parrott when he came in to take over those reps?
Yeah, Matt's done a good job this camp. We've moved him around. You'll see him in there with the ones today over at the right tackle. Maybe the whole practice. Maybe we'll sub in some other guys. We'll see how practice goes. But he's done a good job, for us to this point.
Brian, can you still evaluate guys who are injured and not able to practice or who are limited in practice? And if so, to what degree can you evaluate them?
Well, you're just evaluating them of the things they can do. So that's really the retention in the meeting room. But ultimately, it's really their performance on the field, executing under pressure, doing the things when you have to do them in a quick manner. So it's a little bit harder than if they're out there practicing.
Dave, with the Lions and Dan Campbell,
Yeah.
The two of you have a friendship
Sure.
long-standing.
Yep.
Does that help in terms of
Yeah.
what you expect this
Yeah.
week,
No.
next week, whatever?
I haven't talked to Dan since we kind of put this thing together. I think you're just so in the day-to-day moment. I'll probably talk to him over the weekend here. But like Laura Young and the person that helps him, they're in communication. I would say, once you get going to plan these, the coordinators are in communication to make sure the practices are, the scripts. We've kind of set up the scripts and what we want to try to accomplish in the practice, back in June or whenever it was we talked. And then we'll revisit it probably, this weekend or Monday just to make sure we're on point. What do they have injury-wise? What do we have? Do we got to cut something down? Do we need to add more? Those are conversations that'll take place. But I have a lot of respect for Dan. Done a great job, and go out there and have some productive days. That's the most important.
What are those scripts? What are you hoping to accomplish?
It's really not much different than the practices that you have that you script out here. So there's third down, there's red zone, there's first and second down, there's a bunch of different things. Just kind of put them together, and our sports science people talk to their sports science. So it's a collective agreement in terms of how we want to approach practice, the things we want to get out of it, and practice the right way, the best you can.
We've seen teams that have done joint practices where the starters will get a lot of work in those two practices and then pretty much won't play in the game.
Yeah.
What is your approach?
Yeah, I'd say I'm not there yet. It's kind of similar to one of the questions about the guys. We'll revisit that all once we get to it. But it's planned out relative to the practices and stuff. Now, who plays, how long? I'm not there yet. We're not there yet.
Couple more.
Dave, with going back a little bit, we were talking to Aziz and Shep and guys who you're clearly managing and
Yeah.
you're aware of. First off, the familiarity with those guys happen
Sure.
every year later, but also how formal is it for you guys, your sports science and the trainers, the coaches, but also the players being involved to know right up front, okay, this is what we're going to expect from you. It's not going to be a surprise that, hey, you're off today.
Yeah, I'd say you go in with a plan, and then you're just like your offense and your defense and your kicking game, you're constantly evolving. I have meetings every day with that group, with Ronnie and his staff and sports science staff, and we have good discussions about what we think each player needs. And every day it's a little bit different. You never know. So you treat everybody fairly. You can't treat them all the same relative to nicks and bruises, or maybe there's a past, prior injury, or sometimes you got to take it off the player because they'll just keep going, and that's not good for them either. So it's really good conversations. I lean on those guys a lot. They're the experts in the rehab field and the sports science and how many reps they need to get. So it's good conversation, good give and take, and then you just clearly communicate to the player, here's what the plan is. And sometimes players are like, no, I'm ready, I can go. Like, understand that, but sometimes you got to try to protect them from him sometimes.
Back off a little bit yesterday.
Yeah, look, we go through. There's a lot of data you get. How fast they run, for how long they run, there's a ton of stuff you go through, and those are conversations we have every day about every player that are in those kind of high areas.
Dave's in a crowded wide receiver. Sorry, Pat.
You're all right.
Thank you.
Feel like the Wizard of Oz.
Yes, that fits. In a crowded wide receiver room.
Yeah.
How's Shep doing? I mean, is he?
Doing good. Yeah, he's doing good. He's
Are you seeing enough from him?
Yeah, he's doing everything we've asked, and he's doing a nice job. So once we get to these preseason games and another part of the evaluation, we'll see how all that goes out. But all those guys are, I would say, they're all competing.